Good morning, the students of honors second year. This is Rajiv Roy. I am a lecturer of the Department of English at Dhaka College. I am here to focus on non-major English. And in my previous class, I started right forms of verb. As far as you know, I completed 8 rules and regulations. Today, I will also give you some important rules and regulations from where questions are given in the field of right forms of verb. So, let us start with rule number 9. The students, as I completed up to rule number 8 in my last class, I would like to start with rule number 9. And if you face any difficulty and if you find me difficult to understand, please you can have a lot of question in the comment box. I will be there for you after the class is over. So let us start with rule number 9. Rule number 9. The students, according to rule number 9, to or in order to. Look at, after to or in order to, dear students, after to or in order to, we will use after to or in order to, we need to use the base form of the verb. So what is the rule here? After to or in order to, after to or in order to, we need to use the base form of the verb. This is rule number 9, and I would like to clarify the structure with an example. So look at the board. I am going to give you an example depending on rule number 9. We are learning English to, in the bracket, keep pace with the modern world. We are learning English to dash, keep pace with the modern, to dash, in the dash it is keep pace with the modern world. And from rule number 9, we have learned that after to or in order to, we need to use the base form of the verb. What is the base form of keep? Keep itself is the base form. So what is the answer? It would be keep. Keep is the answer of this sentence. So what we have learned is that after to or in order to, we need to use the base form of the verb. This is rule number 9. Rule number 9 is not important, but rule 10 is important, and there is a connection between rule number 9 and rule number 10. So let us start rule number 10, dear students. This is very important for your examination. Rule number 10 that I am going to tell you is very important for right forms of verb. Now rule number 10, dear students. Look at, with a view to, look forward to, get used to, addicted to, devoted to, accustomed to, object to, be plus used to. Look at please. with a view to, look forward to, get used to, addicted to, devoted to, accustomed to, object to, be used to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are some phrases. These are some phrases, and these phrases end with to. Look at. These are the phrases which have to at the end of them. Okay. But according to rule number 9, we have learned that after to or in order to, we need to use the base form of the verb. But after, with a view to, look forward to, get used to, addicted to, devoted to, accustomed to, object to, be used to. Be used to means if you get any be verb like am, is, are, was, were before used to, you have to put ing with the verb. So, with a view to, look forward to, get used to, addicted to, devoted to, object to, accustomed to, and be used to. After these phrases, we need to put ing with the verb. So, what is the rule here? After these phrases, we need to put ing with the verb. Look at. After these phrases and after these phrases, we need to put ing with the verb. Is it clear to you? Look at the rule. That means, after, with a view to, look forward to, get used to, addicted to, devoted to, accustomed to, object to, be used to. After these phrases, we have to put ing with the verb. Some of the students make mistakes because they think that here we have got to, and after to we need to use the base form. But these words or these phrases, be careful, these phrases end with to. But what is the rule here? After this to, we need to use ing with the verb. Is it clear to you? Now let us give an example. So the rule is, after, with a view to, look forward to, get used to, addicted to, devoted to, accustomed to, object to, and be used to. After these phrases, we need to add ing with the verb. Okay, let us give an example. I am looking forward. I am looking forward to receive another letter from you. I am looking forward to receive. What would be the answer, dear students? I am looking forward to. Should we use receive or receiving? What should be the answer? And we have got the word looking forward to. After this to, we have to put ing with the verb. So what is the answer? I am looking forward to receiving another letter from you. Okay. Another example for you, dear students. Father used to drink coffee. Father used to drink coffee, the first example. And the second example is, father was used to drink coffee. What is the difference? What is the difference between these two sentences? According to the first sentence, I have used to. I have used to. And in the second sentence, I have also used to. But this used to, before used to, I have used an auxiliary verb, that is be verb, like be plus used to. If you get only used to, after used to you have to use the base form of the verb. But if you get any be verb, before used to, you need to put ing with the verb. So this one should be drink and this one should be drinking. So after used to, we need to use base form of the verb, and if you get any be verb before used to, you have to put ing with the verb that will come after used to. This is rule number 10. So in rule number 9, I have taught you that after to or in order to, we need to use the base form of the verb. According to rule number 10, we have learned that after, with a view to, look forward to, get used to, addicted to, devoted to, object to, and be used to, we need to use ing with the verb. This is rule number 10. Now let us start with rule number 11, the students. Rule number 11. Rule number 11 regarding right forms of verb is really important, not only for non-major course of English but also for different competitive exams in the job sectors of Bangladesh. Rule number 11 is really important in different competitive exams in job sector of Bangladesh. So let us learn this rule very effectively so that we can get good marks regarding this rule. Look at now, my dear student, rule number 11. At first, for rule number 11, I am not going to give you the rule. At first, I am going to give you an example, and after giving example, my request would be to you to give me the right answer. I am going to give you an example, and you are requested to use the right form of verb. At first, I am not going to give you the rule. I am going to give you the example. At first, write down your answer in the comment box, and after your writing, I will teach you the rule. Okay? So, at first the problem, then I will give the solution. Okay? The teacher as well as the students dash dear yesterday. What should be the answer, dear students? What should be the answer? The teacher as well as the students dash their yesterday. Write your answer in the comment box if you can. What should be the answer? Was or were? Take one from these two. Was or were? What do you think? Look at was or were. Here I have used a conjunctional phrase. Here I have used a conjunctional phrase. And what is the conjunctional phrase? As well as. There are some words or phrases. There are some words and phrases. And if you get the use of these phrases or words, the verb of the sentence must agree according to the first subject. Okay, so let us learn the list of those words and phrases which require the verb according to the first subject. Look at the board. Your answer is absolutely correct, my dear students. I'm going to write those phrases and words necessary for rule number 11. With along with, together with, accompanied by, accompanied with, and not, including, as well as. Look at with, along with, together with, accompanied by, accompanied, and not, including, as well as. Okay, these are those important words, or you can say conjunctional phrases. If these words or conjunctional phrases connect to subjects in a sentence, the verb of this sentence must agree according to the first subject. The students, according to the first subject. So let us give an example. Everything will be crystal clear to you. With, along with, together with, accompanied by, accompanied with, and not, in addition to, including. Okay, there was question in 33rd BCS. There was question in 33rd BCS exam from this one. Okay, I'm going to give you 2 or 3 examples from rule number 11. Okay, with, along with, together with, accompanied by, accompanied, and not, including, as well as. Look at. I as well as my brother. I as well as my brother. We're going to be interested in English. First example. Example number 2. The book, including other materials, be found. This sentence was given in 33rd BCS exam. 3. My brother and not his friends. My brother and not his friends have what should be the answer? What should be the answer, dear students? What should be the answer? I as well my brother dash interested in English. I'm going to give some example. Am, is, are. Was, were. Have, as. Which one? According to the first one, here I have used as well as we have used as well as. The verb of this sentence must agree according to the first subject. And what is the first subject of the second sentence? The first subject of the sentence is book. So the verb must agree according to book. In the third sentence, my brother and his friends, my brothers and his friends are connected. But here we have got the use of and not. We have got the use of and not. And the verb must agree according to the first subject. So look at this, students. I as well as my brother am interested in English. Am interested. Look at the first one. Am. The book, including other materials, was found. My brother and not his friends has done it. Actually, the sentence is I am interested in English. Yes, students. I am interested in English. Number 2, the book was found. Number 3, my brother has done it. Have you learned rule number 11? I think you have learned it. Okay. Look at the sentence and thank you for your nice answer. Most of the students are correct in terms of answer. Okay. So, dear students, let us start with rule number 12. At first, I will not give you the rule. At first, I will give you an example and you are requested to use the corrector from a verb. After your answer, I will teach you the rule. Okay. Now, rule number 12. Now, rule number 12. Either you or I in the bracket guilty. What should be the answer? Either you or I. In the bracket you have got be verb, that is you have to use one from am, is, er, then the word guilty. What should be the answer? Either you or I am guilty, is guilty, are guilty. Which one is correct? Dear students, here I have got the use either or. Let us learn the rule. I have written either blah blah or, neither blah blah nor, not only blah blah but also. Dear students, these are correlative conjunctions. These are correlative conjunctions. Okay, these are correlative conjunctions. Okay, look at the board, dear students. Look at, these are called correlative conjunctions. Either or, neither nor, not only but also. There are a lots of correlative conjunctions. Correlative conjunctions, but if you get the use of these 3 correlative conjunctions, either blah blah or, neither blah blah nor, not only blah blah but also. The verb of this sentence, with the use of either blah blah or neither blah blah nor, not only blah blah but also, the verb must agree according to the second subject, or according to the second subject, or you can say person. Here the first subject is you, the second subject is I. This verb must agree according to the second subject. And what is your answer? It should be I am guilty. It should be I am guilty. So either you or I am guilty. Is it clear to you? Now I'd like to start with rule number 13. Let us start with rule number 13. Dear students, the same thing that I am going to do in rule number 13. At first I will give you an example and then I will teach you the rule. At first the example, and you are requested to write your answer in the comment box. You are requested to write your answer in the comment box if you can. Let us write the example under rule number 13. It is you who dash responsible. What should be the answer? What should be the answer, dear students? It is you who dash responsible. Should the answer be am or is or are? What is the answer? Write down, dear students. It is you who dash responsible. It is you who dash responsible. Okay. What should be the answer? Okay, I will give you the answer. Some of you have made mistakes. Some of your answers are not correct. Why your answers are not correct is going to be explained by me right now. Look at. Some of your answers are not correct at all. Some of you have done well. Why your answer is not correct? Some of your answers are correct. Some of your answers are not correct. What is the cause behind making mistakes? Let us explain. We have to learn relative pronoun. We have to learn relative pronoun, dear students. We have to learn relative pronoun. What is relative pronoun? What is a relative pronoun, dear students? Okay, let us give you the definition of relative pronoun. The pronoun which takes its position after a noun and pronoun. The pronoun which takes its position after a noun or pronoun and works like a conjunction is called relative pronoun. The pronoun which takes its position after a noun or pronoun and works like a conjunction is called relative pronoun. The pronoun which takes its position after a noun or pronoun and works like a conjunction is called relative pronoun. Try to understand the definition. Try to understand the definition, and if you can get the definition, this rule will be easier for you to understand. The pronoun which takes its position, that means relative pronoun takes its position after a noun and pronoun, and this relative pronoun works like a conjunction in the sentence. Okay, works like a conjunction. Okay, and this pronoun is called relative pronoun. Okay, so relative pronoun takes its position after a noun or pronoun. Number 2, relative pronoun works like a conjunction. Okay, I am going to give you this example. Here the relative pronoun, this is the boy who stood by me. Look at this sentence. This is the boy who stood by me. From this sentence, can you identify the relative pronoun? From this sentence, can you identify the relative pronoun? The relative pronoun is who, and this relative pronoun has been used after the boy. The boy is that noun or pronoun which is used before a relative pronoun. Okay, so I have got another information from here. Definitely there will be a noun or pronoun before a relative pronoun. In other words, we can say after a noun or pronoun, relative pronoun is used. Okay, so before a relative pronoun, a noun or a pronoun is used. In other words, I can say after a noun and pronoun, relative pronoun is used. Okay, the noun or pronoun that is used before relative pronoun, this noun or pronoun is usually known as antecedent. Antecedent. Dear students, the noun or pronoun that is used before relative pronoun is called antecedent. A-N-T-E-C-E-D-E-N-T. So what is the antecedent of this sentence? The antecedent of this sentence is the boy. And what is the relative pronoun? Relative pronoun is who. RP means relative pronoun. The boy is antecedent. Okay. So up to this part you have got a clear conception regarding antecedent. Antecedent must be a noun or pronoun. Clear to you? Antecedent must be a noun or pronoun. This antecedent is used before a relative pronoun. In other words, we can say after antecedent, relative pronoun is used. Okay. If you get, or if we get verb just after relative pronoun. If you get verb just after relative pronoun. If you get verb just after relative pronoun, the verb must agree according to the antecedent. If you get verb just after relative pronoun, this verb must agree according to the antecedent. Look at this sentence. This is the boy who stood by me. Actually, the sentence is the boy stood by me. Clear to you? So the pronoun which takes its position after a noun or pronoun and works like a conjunction is called a relative pronoun. Before relative pronoun, a noun or a pronoun is used. This noun or pronoun is called antecedent. So antecedent must be noun or pronoun. If we get, the rule is now being told by me. If you get verb immediately after relative pronoun, this verb must be taken according to the antecedent. Dear student, according to the antecedent. Now look at this example. Look at this example. This is relative pronoun. This is antecedent. This is antecedent, this is relative pronoun. And we have got verb immediately after relative pronoun. We have got verb immediately after relative pronoun. So, the verb must be according to you. Clear to you? What should be the answer? Now tell me. What should be the answer? Now tell me, dear students. It is you who? What should be the answer? You dash responsible. You are responsible. Is it clear to you, dear students? Okay, thank you. I'm going to give you another example, okay? It is I who be your friend. What should be the answer? What should be the answer? What should be the answer, dear students? Write down. It is I who dashed your friend. What should be the answer, dear students? It is I who be your friend. Am, is, are. Which one? Who, relative pronoun. I, antecedent. You have to take this verb according to antecedent. That is, I am your friend. I am your friend. Some of you make mistakes in spoken English. Some of you make mistakes in spoken English. You say, it is I who is your friend. It is I who is your friend or am your friend. I think it would be am. I am going to give you another example regarding this rule. Look at, I who dash your teacher dash teaching you grammar. Okay, this is an example. You have to, dear students, you have to fill in two gaps, and I am going to give you some options. I am going to give you some options, dear students. What should be the answer? Look at, I who dash your teacher dash teaching you grammar. Am, is, am, is. What should be the answer? Write down. What is your answer, dear students? I who dash your teacher dash teaching you grammar. Most of them are making mistakes, dear students. Most of them are making mistakes. Okay, I am going to show you how you can calculate the answer. At first, this is relative pronoun. This is relative pronoun. This is relative pronoun. Okay, this is antecedent. You have to take this verb according to antecedent. I am your teacher. These two options can be applicable. They cannot be. Then, I who am your teacher. Look at, in this sentence you have got two clauses. Who am your teacher. This is an example of subordinate clause. Who am your teacher. This subordinate clause is completed by am. We don't need to use this one. What should be the answer? What should be the answer? I is or I am teaching you. Here you have to take the verb according to I. I am teaching or I is teaching. What is the answer? Most of you have made mistakes. It should be am. It should be am. Is it clear to you, my dear students? Up to this part, I have completed up to rule number 13. I have completed up to rule number 13. And today I have taught you 5 rules and regulations. I don't want to continue anymore today. I am willing to meet you again. I think I will meet you very soon with some more rules regarding right form of verb. I'd like to thank all the students for your active and excellent participation in the classroom activities, or you can say in the classroom. You should keep in mind that if you ensure active participation, the teacher feels really happy. That means excellent interaction in the classroom always encourages the teachers. Thank you for being with me. I'd like to invite you to my next lecture that will be held soon, and willing to have more participation, willing to have some excellent participatory classes in future. Thank you. Goodbye.